A few days later, when Jesus again entered Capernaum, the people heard that he had come home. They gathered in such large crowds that there was no room left, not even in front of the door, and he preached the word to them. Some men came, bringing him a paralyzed man, carried by 4 of them. Since they could not get through him, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through it, and then lowered the mat with the man lying on. When Jesus saw their face, he said, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Now some teachers of the law were sitting there, thinking to themselves, "Why does this fellow talk like this? This is blasphemy. Who can forgive sins but God alone?" Immediately Jesus knew in his spirit that this was what they were thinking in their hearts, and he said to them, "Why are you thinking these things? Which is easier to say to this paralyzed man, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Get up, take your mat and go'? But I want you to know that the Son of Man has the authority on earth to forgive this." So he said to the man, "I tell you, get up, take your mat and go home." He got up, took his mat, and walked out in full view of all of them. This amazed everyone, and they praised the Lord, saying, "We have never seen anything like this." Once again Jesus went out beside the lake. A large crowd sat to him, and he began to teach them. As he walked alone, he saw Levi, son of Alphaeus, sitting at the tax collector's booth. "Follow me," Jesus told him, and Levi got up and followed him. While Jesus was having dinner at Levi's house, many tax collectors and sinners were eating with them and his disciples, for there were many who followed him. When the teachers of the law who were Pharisees saw him eating with the sinners and tax collectors, they asked the disciples, "Why does he eat with the tax collectors and sinners?" On hearing, Jesus said, "It is not the healthy who I came for, and to need a doctor, but the sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but the sinners." Now John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting. Some people came and asked Jesus, "How is it that John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees are fasting, but not yours?" Jesus answered, "How can a guest of the bridegroom fast while he is still with them? They cannot, so as long as they have him with them. But the time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them, and that is the day when they will fast. No one sews a patch on an unshrunk cloth on an old garment, otherwise the new piece will pull away the old, making it tear worse. And no one pours wine in an old wineskin, otherwise the wine will burst the skins, and both the wine and the wineskin will be ruined. So they pour new wine into new wineskin." One Sabbath, Jesus was going out to the grain fields, and with his disciples walked along. They began to pick some heads of the grain. The Pharisees saw him. "Look, why are they doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath?" He answered, "Have you never heard what David did when he and his companion were hungry and in need? In the days of Abraham, the high priest, he entered the house of God and ate consecrated bread, which is lawful only for priests to eat. And he also gave some to his companion." Then he said to them, "The Sabbath was not made for man, and not the man for the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath."